just want to give a shout out to Patricia Brazil at Door to Door Transportation Service for hosting this event, the Visionary Experience. She did a wonderful job. She had a vision and she put that vision into play. She made it happen. And that's the message that we got today from the Visionary Experience. Shout out to everybody for coming.
The book came about from just me pouring out my life, because I literally, from that moment of hearing that quote, leaving that counselor's office, she prescribed me with Lexapro, some type of antidepressant. I took that for one day and just was, you know, looking crazy. Like, seriously, like gone. Like watching stuff on TV, wanting to cry, and just tears when you coming. I'm like, something's not right about this, so I, you know, didn't take that, but just I would read that quote every day. I would read The Battlefield of the Mind, and those things just kept me going, and that's what birthed this person that I am. This person that some people love, this person that some people hate, this person that speaks and says what they think, this person that doesn't hold back, this person that's extra, that dresses how I dress, and changes my hair all the time, and just unapologetically live, because I have a purpose and a plan that's bigger than me. And, you know, a lot of times as business owners, when we are pursuing our purpose and our passion, we get inspired by other people, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there comes a time when you have to go beyond inspiration and tap into your inner self and find out what it is that God actually created you to do. Because I've been inspired by many people. I'm not going to stand up here and act like I've gotten here on my own. There's been tons of people in this beauty industry that has poured into me and just been so kind to me.
Here, man. If you're not here, you're not networking, you're definitely in the wrong place. Utilize what you have, utilize what's right here in front of you. I hear a lot of women say in Indianapolis, well, it's not this and it's not that. No, you create it, you make it, all right? We gonna keep this thing going. Coming up next to the stage, she's actually born here, right? Did you tell me she was born here?
Wish yours, baby.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, she's such a wonderful lady. Deborah Hawkes, man, you guys know her from Bye Felicia. I'm so sorry I got my cards all mixed up, guys. You guys know her from Bye Felicia. She is a certified life coach in Atlanta, where she grew up at. She's from here, but she's gonna let you guys know a little more about herself when she comes up. You guys, put your hands together for Miss Deborah Hawkes.
I don't show my trauma. Why is that? Because I'm no different than you. If anything, I probably started off behind you. So what has been the deciding or differing factor that has eliminated the show of the trauma? Because usually a woman goes through trauma, and I had Oprah Winfrey tell me this. I actually interviewed with her. She said, key to you is, you've been through hell, but you kind of look like hell. She said, I don't know if you're going to get this job. And I was like, please, Jesus, help me get this job. I'm going to work for her. But she said, even if you don't do the show here, I want you to know that's your gift. Share it with women. How do you get beyond the trauma? So what I want to talk to you about today is, how did it happen? Trauma does one of two things. It either motivates you and incites you to be better, or it stops you in your tracks and makes you worse. There's no other option. You're not the same, so you can't stay where you were. That's done. Either you're going to get better and be more awesome, or you're going to get worse and not be the woman that you were made to be. Let me tell you the key to getting past your traumas. The key is making a decision to do something positive with it. When I lost the triplets, I found myself feeling less confident than I had ever felt. At the time, I was the first Black operations director for all of the factories in the United States. You think the state of Indiana makes your license? It's done by Norfolk Trust. I had just been promoted the highest ranking Black woman in the company. I thought I had it together. Had the right man, was picky, careful, had my degrees. I had the what looks like resume, right? And then that happened. Now what? Because they did. What you gonna do? That's where the true test of character comes from. It took me about 6 months, ladies. I'm gonna be honest, those were rough 6 months to get my mind back together. But what I found is that whatever I thought I I was before that happened. I was much better.
The most essential quality for leadership is not perfection, but credibility. People must be able to trust you or they won't follow you. How do you build credibility? Not pretending to be perfect, but by being honest. Glory in your weakness. So thank you so much for talking about that. Because I used to walk around like I was so perfect, and I still do, but but I like to be transparent. When I go talk to the kids all the time, because people be like, oh my gosh, she's such a pretty girl, she's so tiny, y'all. I grew up fat my whole life. Got talked about. I was chubby, had the big eyebrows, so I finally glowed up. But one thing I have to say is God had to work on my heart first. He was able to work on my inside. He was able to work on my heart. He was able to work on my character. And once I had that and I glowed up, I had the whole package. So I thank him for having to go through that process. But we gonna get, speaking of God, we gonna get to the next speaker for today, Miss Karri Turner, author of the Girl Bible book. They are clapping back there. The ultimate guide for the modern Christian woman, also an ordained elder, preacher, teacher, motivational speaker, president and CEO of 2020-something, and a nonprofit 501c3, which provides leadership development for women in their 20s. You guys, please give it up, my girl, Karri Turner.
I want to talk to you about a couple of things because I think you're here. One, I love the title that it's the visionary experience. Because how many of you know that vision is what God gives to us? Right? Because a lot of people are walking around saying that I'm a dreamer. I love to dream. Dream big. Don't stop dreaming. And I'm not against dreaming, but at some point in time, you gotta wake up and implement what you've been dreaming about. So if you're dreaming, you're in a constant and a perpetual state of sleep. What can you do when you sleep? Nothing. So it's vision that we move from. The Bible says that God gives the vision. He makes it plain. We write it down and we do what? Run with it. So that's what you're responsible for doing. So you're here because you're visionaries. You're people, you're women who have decided I know or I want to know what I need to do with my life, and now I need to move forward with it. There are a few key things that I want to leave with you that I think God placed in my heart for me to share with you. The first is the difference between ambition versus purpose. Ambition versus purpose. The world tells you, be an ambitious woman. You need to be ambitious about everything that you do. And I'm not saying that ambition is a bad thing, but ambition unchecked can be dangerous. Ambition unchecked can take you to a place that you don't want to go, because really ambition is your self-pursuit of what you want to do. Ambition is you deciding what you want to do. Purpose is God saying, this is what I've created you to do. This is what I want you to do. And that's the difference. The world tells you to seek after your own desires, and God says, listen, I have a blueprint for your life. There are some things that I have strategically laid out and I have strategically created for you. And so my first question is, do you know the blueprint? What is the blueprint for your life?
God knows what's going to happen to you before you do. And so everything that you're going through and everything that happens to you when you're like, I'm so broke down, I can't get up, I'm so broke down, I can't get up, you better get up. Because if you get up and you just start moving, I promise you, He will see you through every single trial and tribulation that happens in your life. Sabrina and I were in the beauty industry. And I heard about her for years, and she heard about me for years, but we never knew each other. We had mutual people that knew each other, but I was just like, she this girl with no glam stuff, child, I over there charging a lot, and I'm just the old $50 weed girl. Child, nobody thinking about that. Look, I'm just over here trying to get a coin, and that is it. But in making money, I really found my purpose, and her story really spoke to me in a way that I never knew while we connected until we met, and she shaded me down. She acted like she don't remember it, but she shaded me down. I was like, oh, hi. Because we're the same makeup artist. I've had the same makeup artist for almost 20 years. And I said, oh, well, you're Sabrina? And she was like, yeah. I said, oh, I'm Maja. Hi. Oh, okay. All right, girl. The next day, we were getting our makeup done, and she was in a stir. She was in a little stir. She couldn't get herself together. She was running a little late. She runs a bit late sometimes. So, she runs a bit late sometimes, but she's always on time. So when she comes up, she may be late, but you're gonna get your message, and I'm clear about that.
But we were in there and we were in makeup chairs, so we just started talking, but we were in a smaller room and it wasn't anybody in there but me, her, and the makeup artist, and we just started talking, and it was the most interesting experience because she reminded me of somebody and I didn't know who she reminded me of in that moment, and who she reminded me of later when I talked to her, maybe 2 weeks later. She reminded me of my mother, and I never had a relationship with my mother. I didn't like her, she got on my nerves, she was everything I didn't want to be, and I ran away from her. But when I met Sabrina, she allowed me to do something in a different way that I did for my mother when I was going through my divorce, which was forgive her in a different way. I forgave her in a different way because prison was her stigma, and she could never, ever, 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 ever get that off of her. She couldn't get it off of her, and she was so beautiful. She was magnificent beyond her own understanding, but she couldn't get that off of her. And why I love Sabrina so much is that she doesn't let a situation or a circumstance define her. And that, to me, for all women, if you know that you don't have to look like what you're going through, when you decide that, you know what your purpose will be in this life, and you can help so many more people. For me, most people thought because I was married to a physician that I had this wonderful life and that really I came for money. They didn't realize I came from some dingy hot trailer raised by a drag queen and bipolar, but just not diagnosed. I have anxiety, that's a different medication needed for that. And I am a strong proponent for people taking medication that they need. And I'm serious about that. She took hers for one day, she stayed on it for a week. She probably would have got her gut right a lot quicker. That is one of the biggest shames in the Black community. It's the biggest shame in the Black community, and I want you all to stop it. Cut it out right now.
Your plan. The great part about the cocoon, you can't copy nobody. Because when you're in the cocoon, you can't see. The only place you have to look is within. So that's where your plan is going to manifest, from within. True assessment of your potential. I have a good girlfriend that always walks in weed shop. She's very basic, but she's good. And she taught me a line that I use in all my speeches called performance versus potential. And a lot of us, she called me one day, and as you illuminate in your cocoon, God is going to send you an usher board. Sure. You understand that? And the usher board will come from far and wide to carry on your vision. He's going to send the people. See, God sent Brittany, and Brittany told Pat about me because she came to the girl power sleepover. Pat wasn't on social media. She told her about me. I did a good job. She thought I was great. I was illuminating in my cocoon. I was teaching myself. At the same time, God would send people that would send your message all the way to Indiana. When you're not even there. And then turn around full circle, you know what he'll do? He'll say, okay, bring her on and say, okay, I want to bring an event to Indianapolis. And then I coach her through the whole event. Do this first. Do this first. Post this. Take this down. Don't say this. Cross your legs like that. Don't do that. Put your name in this order. So God is saying your people. Pat didn't know me and all those people. But I talked to Pat, she said she did 4 years in prison. And now she has a business. And I was honored to be here for a woman that's lost it all and gave it back. Resources and books. Y'all probably got more bumpers than these books. You understand? And you have to start out slow. So I didn't read my whole first book out in the prison. So don't think that, I had a lot of time on my hands, so I read them. So y'all probably got a whole bunch of unread books, so just get to meet yourself where you are. I started off, I had a little bit of drug money. So I was able to buy audiobooks all the time. It was like $30 a pack. But y'all got the internet now, and you can download audiobooks. And y'all got YouTube now, so you can look at YouTube, So what you want to do is you want to gain resources and be in the room. There's power in being in the room. You understand that? It's power in being in the decision-making room. See, y'all a very small hand out of a whole city decided, you know something? I'm gonna be in the room with these bitches. You understand that? I took my entire savings because I heard about a woman named Sophia Amoroso that owns a brand called Nasty Gal, and she uses a tool that I use, which is the internet, but she made $250 million in one. I need to holler at her. Because she knows something I don't know. And if it costs me $50,000 to know it, then that's what it gives me. But it's going to make me $200 million, or $10 million, or $1 million, or $500,000, or I gain it some other way, but there's power and access.
This event was very inspirational. I feel like when I leave here, I can be a butterfly. I've been in my cocoon too long, honey. I feel like I'm about to go soar. I can be the president. I just got to stay focused, be patient, and keep God first, and I can do anything.